Welcome to the club's annual competitions. This is the Advanced PDI competition with narration from myself, Dave Morrell. Let's start with A Bridge Too Far. And here we have some old workings up in the dales, giving us a sense of sadness and abandonment. The bridge looks to be a little lost in the foreground, possibly a higher or lower vantage point may throw more feature onto that bridge. That said, we've got great detail front to back. We've got a real melancholy feel to this image. Australian magpie. This guy isn't shy while he's shouting here for his breakfast. Difficult high contrast image. Highlights look to be a little bit bright on its back, losing a little bit of detail in there. That said, it's important that we see detail on its face and eyes, which we have, which are pin sharp. Lots of detail, as I've said, and we've got some good separation, which is throwing us onto the main subject. Behind bars. It's seen a way out and wants to be off. It's not a particularly flattering take of the owner. Possibly a square crop. We could lose that distraction. Good details, however, interesting expression of concentration on the dog's face with enough separation to show us what the main subject really is. Morning mist. Cold, mysterious veil. Who was in that keep? Good receding tones and lines leave us with a tense feeling of this rather cold, bleak view. Contemplating. Wrong aperture there, mate. I think it's trying to tell our photographer. Only joking. This magnificent animal is caught in all its glory. Lovely detail, great separation, so the aperture is very correct. Good square format does work. A powerful image. I could do with a seat myself. Wow. Powerful social statement about the old and infirm. Some ignore, some don't see, some don't even care. Well-positioned subject gives a very powerful statement to what our society is all about at the moment. Business meetings. This used to be on the golf course, but now it's in coffee shops. Early morning meetings. Lots of individual groups here, laptops out. They're probably working for the groups that are sat in the coffee shop but don't know it. Lovely tones, well constructed. We've got groups within the individual frames of the windows in the coffee shop. The image works very well. High-tided Dunsonborough. Moody sense of desolation we have here as we run along the death rocks towards the castle. The long exposure adds drama to the sea and to the sky. Possibly lift the temperature slightly to remove that blueness. Wouldn't detract too much from the image, and it may actually add a little bit more feeling to it. That said, we've got some lovely lines from the cliffs along the rocks which take us to the castle, which is a dominant feature and a well worked image. Hope the photographer was safe on those rocks. The Iron Horse. Lovely malleable tactile feel to this image. Interesting framework done on it, does work. We are seeing some halos starting to form in the very high contrast areas. This isn't always something that's easily dealt with and is a part of digital photography. To a degree, sorry. It's well framed, great lines, which keep us within the image as we explore the horse and some of the surroundings. Breeze in the Acer tree. warm, magical sense of wonderment as we explore this tree, as we are slowly taken towards the light to wherever it takes us. There's enough detail in this image to know what we're looking at, and a lovely, warm, mysterious feel to it. Dead space. Indeed, is that the cemetery, or is it the photographer's where the dead space is? Unfortunately, we're seeing some pixelation, especially along the clouds, along the horizon, which does take a little bit away from the image. However, the high contrast silhouette gives us a nice juxtaposition of headstones and heads and figures. In that respect, the image does work very well. Fast food and fumes. Very appropriate today. It's good to know that somebody is here to help, whether it's the delivery girl with the food or the person who supplies the dust masks. The girl's a little bit lost behind the bin. However, it allows the mural by BK Fox to dominate the image and make a very poignant social statement of what's happening today in the world. Very powerful image. Gardens by the Bay. A lovely space age futuristic feel to this. Here we are in Singapore at dusk. We are seeing a little bit of pixelation in the sky, or it appears to be pixelation. Doesn't detract that much from the image, to be fair, but we have good lines and circles taking us through the image as we are held by the lights and then drawn down the stalks of these gigantic flowers in a remarkable location. Teeing off. Good action shot. We've got movement on the club, which lets us know he's given it all. It's very high contrast seeing this. We've got direct light coming in from the right, which unfortunately we lose our player a little bit in the shadows. Difficult harsh lighting conditions, but we do have a good composition. We've got plenty of space, and we've got plenty of movement, plenty of room for the ball to move into. After the rain. Lovely contrasting delicate details within this image. Maybe it would have been nice to see the whole petal on the right hand side, but that's been super critical. We've got enough separation for the images to work and our main subjects to stand out, and the larger, more dominant bud is on the bottom, which balances the image, so the image does work well with some good lines running through it from top to bottom. Red and black gallery. Very unnerving futuristic feel to this, with some high contrasting darks and reds, which do work. Good lines take us into the gallery, and then we stop at the bottom panel and we then send back into the gallery where we can explore the images and the textiles on the walls and the floor. Great symmetry, lovely powerful composition. Rain later. Contrasty moody sky and a sun-drenched beach, so that works very well. Again, possibly lift the temperature ever so slightly, which add a more natural feel to the skies, I think. We've got 3 for 1 here. We've got the grass at the foreground, we've got the grass to the mountains as an image, and we've also got the sea, the mountains and the sky as a third image. So value for money, a very pleasant, interesting photograph. Long forgotten. Sombre abandonment. Won't be long before the boat is gone forever. The powerful compositional feel in this is the triangle, which is the jetty, the boathouse, and the abandoned boat. Unfortunately, the boat and the jetty take us to the boathouse, which does become the dominant part of the photograph. However, there's some fantastic detail throughout this shot, particularly in the foreground. Lovely tones well worked in mono. It is a powerful image indeed. Hydrangea floret. Powerful contrasting colours, and we're starting to see the golden ratio develop within this image. Pulling the highlights back slightly would intensify the colours even more, adding a much greater feel to the image. It's balanced. We've got some lovely contrasting colours in there. Blues and oranges always work very well, and it is a very natural abstract image that's been seen by our photographer, so well done there. Making music. No idea what the music is, but I hope it's hitting all the right notes. Seems a little bit over sharpened to me, this image, unfortunately. Looks very rigid, and it looks very, very plastically with some of the high contrast that we're seeing, unfortunately. Other than that, there is some superb detail within the image, and you can see every little bit of that accordion. So in that respect, it's a very powerful image. Where's the dessert? Definitely not a shy boy, this guy. Good, quick, fun shot. Good composition. The bird takes us into the image. The knife and spoon, fork and spoon even, take us to the bird. So the composition works. I just hope that he eats all his greens, or he will not be getting his dessert. Thinking about it. Football, when's tea break? Wonder what's at tea? Here's a penny for them, lads. Nice balanced image, but the brights in the background pull us straight through the scene, straight out of it. Doesn't allow us enough time on the two characters who have either fell out or about to have an argument. Let's hope that they make their decision very soon. Good fun image. Good evening, ladies. Creepy, scary apparitions. No eyes, which leaves a proper imbalanced feel to this image, to these faces. Possibly dull the highlights a little bit on the main character's cardigan, and possibly a slightly stronger vignette would really pull us in to these really scary creatures. Macabre feel, gruesome image. I think it's 2 girls and 4 masks. That doesn't matter. They're all scary. Powerful image. Taming the dragon. Emotion, colour and action. Everything you want to see from a street celebration, and we have it here. Possibly lose the elbow on the right hand side. The blue and the yellow doesn't add anything and be quite easily cropped out. The dragon takes us through the image, and when we look at the dragon itself, we can see the faces of all of the dragon players. So in that respect, it's a really well captured moment for the shot, and it's obviously, looking at the signage, St. Patrick's Day. Way out. Looks like it's going way out forever, or is it a way out? Good symmetry. The gazebos at the end complement the mountains in the distance. The single rail on the left hand side unsettles the image a little bit, giving you a little sense of foreboding, which is probably correct because you are going out to sea, so be wary. Overall, a very powerful symmetrical structure, and we've got some lovely complementary colours between the oranges and the blues. Safely stored. Great textures. I should tell you what the knots are, but other than they are tied, I can't. Lovely mix of lines, textures, details. Makes me want to unfold it and fold it up again. Much neater than what it is. Good image. Leave only footprints. Balanced, calm image with a sense of mystery. 3 pictures again for the price of 1. The rough sand, smooth sea, rough sea and smooth sky work, and we've also got the overall image which works with all of those horizontal sections of it, which all work as I've just said. This clearly must have been taken on a Friday. Gate secure. Hope the horses haven't gone. Great textures, lovely detail, possibly just that little bit soft. But we've got a good mix of verticals, horizontals and a diagonal thrown in to take us to the lock and the bolt. So in that respect, the image works very, very well. Pennine window. Bleak, cold and inviting, with a homestead lost in the distance, which is where we're aiming for. It's a little flat and a little bit bright, particularly where the bands of snow are. Dehaze slider could possibly add a little bit more texture to the scene and a little bit more contrast. But that said, the lines take us to the tree, which then take us to the wall, which then take us to home, where we want to be. Powerful, evocative image. Trying to remember, oh, what a character. Looks like he's been chiselled out of wood. Looks like he has no eyes, but they're definitely in there, hidden amongst those eyebrows. Probably with the ball that you kicked into his garden that you wouldn't dare go and ask for. A face full of tails, well worked in mono, very powerful image. Shag family gathering. Definitely not a happy family by the looks of this lot. They all look miserable. Great lines from bottom left, bottom right and centre top take us to the group. They all sat there waiting for somebody to come and do something. Possibly they're in isolation for the next 14 days. Who knows? Very powerful, well detailed image. Waiting for kindness. Unfortunately becoming a typical street scene in our towns and cities. And sadly the question we always ask is this genuine, this guy genuine or not? I would possibly lose the edge of the drain pipe on the right hand side as it just distracts. And there is some highlights on his face which remove some of his character and melancholy appearance. The distant gaze adds to this melancholy scene. Sad times indeed, but a powerful social statement. If trees could dream, great idea. Would they dream of becoming a wooden ship and sailing the seas? Maybe this is a nightmare, who knows? Possibly a stronger vignette would really push us towards the teardrop. That said, the image works very well. Square format is very powerful and it's well placed focal point of the subject. So a very clever image. Party boat. Floating street scene. Good separation. Let's us concentrate on what's important, which is the party going on. Different scene through every window, and the one we focus on is the girl in white, and we're wondering whether she's actually enjoying herself being stood up or just contemplating what's going on around her. Very powerful, fun image. Family group. Well, I didn't expect this as a family group. If you look at their ears, Dad's checking the rear, Mum's checking the front, and the kid, well, he's just doing what kids do, eating. Great moment, great separation, makes our subject stand out. Very powerful, fun, emotional image. Well seen. And finally, we have Water's Edge. We have a pleasant, if cold, tranquil scene, dominated by the mountains in the background, but complemented by the rock shapes in the foreground. So that works very, very well. Fortunately, there's some banding in the sky, which is possibly generated in post or because of a faulty memory card or something wrong with the camera. Hopefully, it's an easy fix. There's some great detail front to back. And as I've already said, good complementary shapes between the mountains and the rocks. An interesting photograph. And that concludes the entries. And now we have commended and we have business meetings. If trees could dream, party boat. We have highly commended, breeze in the Acer tree, red and black gallery, taming the dragon, family group. In third place, good evening ladies. In second place, shag family gathering. And in first place, we have I could do with a seat myself. Thank you.